your local service center or call 1-800-67-BUSY today. UC Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
In your car, at home, on the job, AM radio has more than 80 million listeners each month. For more than a century, AM radio has evolved to meet the needs of our community. Visit wearebroadcasters.com and tell us how you depend on AM.
Edgy Tim is here. Coach Rod is here. The best high school football fans in the state are here. It's time for Pigskin Preview. Coaches, players, fans, and experts. You get them all right here on Pigskin Preview. Powered by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy and John Wright.
I gotta love the epic opening. Welcome to the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview. Here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. Edgy Tim here along with the coach, Joe Rodagaro, Evan Bredesen running around here, spinning dials and fixing stuff and doing everything else he does around here. Yep. And we're glad to be back with you. Again, this edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by our State Farm agents, Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet, like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
And want to congratulate the Week 4 State Farm agent, Kevin Malloy, Pigskin Preview Player of the Week, Joe.
Yes.
Joliet West junior linebacker Micah McNair. 3 interceptions, including a pick six, 80-yard return to the house for the game-winning touchdown in the Tigers' 17-10 upset win over Plainfield North last Friday. So, again, congratulations. We had a chance to go out to Joliet West last night and spend a little time with the Tigers, Joe. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Our broadcast schedule is as follows. Friday, 6:05, Friday Night Lights, the best pregame show in the state of Illinois, led by Evan Bredesen. And for some reason, Dave Dwyer will take over. No, I'm kidding. Definitely stay tuned to also some great sponsors. I know recently, Joe, a couple of new ones hopped on board. So great to have them aboard. Game of the week, 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow from Wilmington, Joe. Your buddies over at Reed Custer on the road taking on the Wilmington Wildcats. Again, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Dave Dwyer, Joe Rodagaro on the call. And then bonus Saturday football, Joe.
Yes.
Joliet Central at Joliet West. That is an 11:30 kickoff. You will have pregame with Scott Slocum. I'll say it about 11:27, and Joe Rodagaro also on that call. So again, 2 full days of high school football here on 1340 WJOL. You can listen to that on WJOL.com. Listen right over the old-fashioned AM radio here if you're nearby. And also, I highly recommend the Odyssey app. Just go to the Odyssey link and go to the smart app and download it and just search WJOL, and there you go. You can listen to it no matter where you're at. And I do that, Joe, every Friday evening.
Yes, you do.
All right, so we have a busy show. We're going to have a boatload of guests tonight. We're going to have Francis Lawford from Coal City talk about the Kohlers. Joe, Kohlers off to a nice start.
Yeah, ever since week 1, they've been on a roll, 3 in a row.
Reed Custer, again, part of our Game of the Week coverage tomorrow night. Gavin Johnson will join us. We'll talk a little bit Kohlers football and kind of how the Kohlers are progressing, or the Comets are progressing here. Yes. Again, a younger team, so we'll find out from Gavin exactly where he's at with this team at this time of the year. Tom Hart, the engaging, effervescent head coach of Joliet Central, will join us in the 7 o'clock hour. Of course, the Steel Dudes will make the trip over to the west side on Saturday and take on rival Joliet West. Again, that's a game you can hear right here on 1340 WJOL. He will join us in the 7 o'clock hour. And then, Joe, we're going to try Tika's Pettigrew. We're going to hopefully get hooked up with and talk about the Raiders. Raiders at 3-1. Big game for them this week as well, Joe. I believe taking on Lincoln Way West, who also happens to be 3-1. So again, some interesting ongoings here. Joe, the Week 5 WJOL Big 5 poll is as follows.
At number 5, we have a new member in our weekly top 5. It's Morris at 4-0. Number 4 is Bolingbrook. Lockport is number 3. Joliet Catholic is 2. And Lincoln Way East is 1.
And you can find that Big 5 poll every Monday morning with Scott Slocum in the morning right here on 1340 WJOL. Joe, let's talk about your weekend last weekend. Fill us in a little bit.
I was not doing any games at all. I was busy.
Kind of rare.
Yes.
Kind of rare. So, again, Joe was off last weekend, but he will be back pulling double duty this week, Friday and Saturday. And I was down in lovely Normal, Illinois, my second home, if you will, so far this season.
I think you should get an apartment down there.
Had a great time. So 105 points combined scored. Watched Normal Community beat Peoria 63-42 final. Highly entertaining game. Had maybe one of the best pork chop sandwiches I've ever had in my life at Normal.
Better than Lamont?
Yeah, very good. Sorry, Lamont.
Wow.
Although I will give Lamont equal time. I will give them another shot, but very, very good down at Normal Community. Had a great time, and then went from 105 points scored combined to 23 points scored combined on Saturday out of Glenbard West.
Yes.
Glenbard West, Joe, I'm telling you, all they need to do when they come out of the tunnel at Duchamp in the pregame, all they needed was a dude with a flute and another guy with a drum, because they had plenty of guys on crutches that came out of that locker room. I've never seen a varsity team that beat up and that injured before. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Joe, it literally was park football, where like offensive line coach Zig is like, okay, well, you go in for here, you go in for here, you come over here, you play this, literally making it up on the fly. Somehow they find a way to win 13-10. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Against a very good Lions Township team. So again, that was kind of my week last week. 815-254-7300 if you're around, if you want to give us a holler. Love to hear from you. You can also, if you're watching us on YouTube, hello everybody. You can send us a DM right there and hit us up and just send it, and we like it. We'll throw it in the show. We'll put it up for you, and love to hear from you.
Yes.
So we're technically at the halfway point, I guess, right?
Yes.
Halftime this Friday will be, I guess, the halfway point of the regular season. Any major surprises in this area? Not really.
No, not that I can.
I guess Lincoln Way Central
at 3-1.
Yeah.
I guess if there is a surprise, that would be it. But everything's kind of what we kind of expected so far.
You know, it's gotten to the point where Evan doesn't even need to pick up the phone anymore. He just knows who's calling, and just looks at me and goes and whispers, "Bob, hey Bob."
Hi, what's up?
How are you, buddy?
All right.
What was your analysis of the Hilltoppers last week against Notre Dame?
Well, I really think we need a big fullback to get our big guys out through the middle.
Uh-huh.
Had that, we'd be very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they did a good job, though.
It's amazing. It's amazing how there's still work to be done, right, Joe? Obviously,
yes.
With the Hilltoppers, and Bob, I'm sure you'll agree, there's still work to be done.
Yeah.
Areas to improve. But boy, it's nice to be 3-1 and you're still working on getting better, isn't it?
Can't complain.
No,
not at all.
No. Bob, Joe and I were talking about this one before we went on the air. I would be a little nervous going into this one tomorrow night. Alessio Milivojevic is a very good quarterback, committed to Ball State. They can sling it a little bit. And, again, your strength has been the defense this year, and obviously they're going to need to show up tomorrow night. But, again, it's when we talked about this in the preseason, Bob, it's a different schedule this year. It's a very, very tough schedule.
Oh, yeah, they ain't got no big pushovers.
No.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But again, it's, the strength has been the defense, Joe, and they're going to have to show up tomorrow night.
Yep. As long as we don't keep them on the field too long like we did at St. Rita.
What we want to know is, number one, where are you going to park tomorrow night? Good luck to you on that adventure.
People, it's
I know it's very small over there.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah.
I mean, park in the Kmart lot.
Yeah, that's
you're
pretty
right
much
across
it.
the street. You are absolutely correct.
Bob McMillan, everybody up there, great people, always
Oh,
always tremendous to me. But yeah, they're the first ones to admit, there's nowhere to park whatsoever. So
it'll be an interesting night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, well, do you attempt to cook tomorrow or no?
No.
Yeah, because you just don't know where you're going to be.
Yeah, you don't know where you're going to be.
Yep.
So, all right, my friend, always great to hear from you. Thanks for calling.
Right, Bob. Talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. We appreciate it. And we appreciate everybody on YouTube watching and sending in comments. Joe Carlos Sesta says, Go Hill.
Yes.
Carla, thanks for listening and watching. And the Dixon, according to Weather on the Go, our guy with really scores and everything, Dixon Dukes looking for their first 5-0 start since 2017. Dixon at Rockford Lutheran, go Dukes. So, hey, why not, Joe?
Yes.
Go Dukes.
Go 5-0.
Right on. Let's go out to the phone line. Hey, Joe, another one of our 6 listeners calling. It's Greg and Tinley. Hello, Greg.
Here he is.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good night. Getting ready for football tomorrow.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep, we are too. And tell you what, interesting result with Lincoln Way Central, Lincoln Way West last week. And West has got another tough one on their hands this week with Bolingbrook coming to town.
I was going to ask you about that game. You know, I was over at the East game, and I kept getting scores. And I saw that 21-0 at the half. What's going on here? You know, I thought they were supposed to have a bad, the quarterback was beat up and, they were down, and all of a sudden here they are. Oh, Lincoln Way West.
Well, Greg, with of course, with Cole Crafton going down, the one, if you're going to have, it's a devastating injury. I feel so bad for the young man. But, in the first game, Chase Hetflish quarterbacked, and he probably took the majority of the snaps during the summer.
Right. And we talked about
West, and
they scored 40 points in that first game to start the year?
Right.
Backup.
And
so
because Cole was playing baseball. So I don't know if they skipped a beat there or not. Evidently they didn't, because they came out and scored the first 21 points and won in overtime. But but again, the young man must be a pretty decent quarterback to lead those guys, and experience is a big thing. And he had it with the first game, as Edgy said.
And Greg, we put the kibosh on Central. It's all our fault because we were raving about him a week before.
Yeah, we start talking about him. Yeah, what happens? I got another question for you. We're 4 weeks into the season, and we kind of seen the results of the conference the games that aren't conference games and all of that.
Yep.
How would you rate the conferences right now? I did a little bit of it myself this week. The top 5, like in the Chicagoland area. Think about it a minute, but I got my ideas, but I'd like to hear what you guys think about that.
I mean, it sounds very simple, but I mean, you almost have to start with the Catholic Blue, right? With just 4 teams.
Yep.
And what they do, and really, Joe and Greg, the whole ESCCCCL. I mean, you just look at the results, when they're not playing each other, and it's impressive. Wow, that's a good
I got
question.
them number 1 too.
Yeah. I think like out our way, it's I think the Southwest Suburban Blue has been pretty solid.
Yes.
I think they've all gotten off to a pretty good start.
I got them too.
It's a little different, like with the Prairie, because there's not very much crossover, so you kind of don't know. There's at least a little bit of crossover finally. And I mean, I look at Neuqua Valley, who are their 2 losses. Well, they lost to Oswego, or they lost to Oswego and almost lost to Minooka.
Right.
So what does that tell us? It tells me I'm very confused and can't figure out how good the Prairie is right now.
Well,
so I don't know. Who are some others, Greg? Give me a couple others you're thinking about.
Well, okay. I like in number 3. I like Duquesne Valley with
Yeah, you're right.
Batavia, Wheaton North, Geneva.
Yep, very
You know,
good. Yep.
That's pretty solid.
Yep.
And after that, I had some trouble, but I finally settled on West Suburban Silver with Downers Grove, York, Glenbard West.
Yeah, I went and saw Glenbard West and Lions last Saturday, and I almost guarantee I'm going to go see York and Downers North when those two play later.
Right. Yeah.
So that'll be a good measuring stick game, and the Duquesne.
Right.
What I love about the Duquesne is they'll play anybody. You know, look at Batavia.
Yeah.
Look who Batavia plays. They play Lincoln Way East every year now. They'll take on everyone, and I just give them all the credit. Yep. All the credit in the world. All right, Greg. Hey, we're up against it. We're going to have to cut you loose.
Okay.
Thanks for calling, Greg. Thanks for calling.
Talk to you later.
All right, we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we will go out to the phone line to be joined by the head coach of the Coal City Kohlers, Francis Laughran. You are listening to the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Some roof or exterior work done, and you've covered all your bases, right? Even checked out some online reviews. You think you've got everything covered? Well, think again. Not all roofing and siding companies are insured. That's why I can't say enough great things about R.E. Duchesne Construction. They are a licensed and fully bonded exterior contractor serving Will, Grundy, and Kendall counties for over 40 years. I trust them, and I've personally used them.
Hi, I'm Rita Duchesne Hughes. If you look at your home and don't like what you see, or what you have no longer protects your family and largest asset, call us at R.E. Duchesne Construction. R.E. Duchesne has an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, so you can be confident you need only make one call. Looking to upgrade? R.E. Duchesne offers a full line of roof shingles, gutters, siding, soffit fascia, and windows. These add great value and beauty to your home. Call us at 815-722-2821 for all your home improvement needs. Financing is now available. Check us out on the web at reduchene.com.
And be sure to tell them Scott Slocum sent you.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Springfield area attorneys. 2815 Old Jacksonville Road, Suite 103, Springfield, Illinois, 62704. CordellCordell.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the 2-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
Miller Lite presents your Chicago football game day headquarters, Tom Kelly's in New Lenox. Catch the game day action this Sunday at Tom Kelly's, and you'll find specials on Belgian waffle breakfast burgers, filet sliders, bacon jam burgers, half-order nachos, and loaded tots. Plus $4 Miller & Coors tall drafts and $15 Miller & Coors buckets. And all of the action on 14 flat screens. Tom Kelly's Chop House and Pub, 495 DeCroat, behind Jewel Osco in New Lenox. TomKellys.com. Celebrate responsibly. High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the Week 5 edition of this goofy the show here on 1340. You're listening to Pigskin Preview. This is the Week 5 edition. EDGYTIM here along with the coach, Joe Rodegaro, and Evan Bredesen.
The show between the show.
The show between the show is so interesting. I'll put it to you this way. I was bringing up smoking jackets on Amazon. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, boy. Yeah, just leave it, please.
We will leave it. All right, Joe, we're going to go out to the phone lines. Hey, Joe, I don't know if you've gotten the news. I don't know if they've ever delivered your paper yet or not.
No,
Hey, the Coal City Kohlers are 3-1, pal.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. And we are going to bring in the head coach of the Kohlers. Coach Loughran will join us. And my friend, welcome aboard. And hey, nothing wrong with being 3-1 at this time of the year.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, of course. Got 3 in a row here, and hopefully we can keep on building.
Francis, I had a chance today to watch a little tape of you guys and when you played Lyle, and what impressed me, a couple things. I know Landon Benson, I believe, is the bell cow for you guys, but the other couple running backs I thought were really good in that game. I don't know. I couldn't read numbers or anything to get names, but I'm sure you'll let us know about those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Landon, like you said, he's going to get most of the carries right now, but Gavin Carpenter is a kid that he doesn't have many carries in the season because he plays some linebacker for us, but man, is he electric when the ball is in his hands. So, we're going to look to, include him more in the second half as we go. But yeah, we're fortunate to have some guys that can run the ball for us.
And that what that does too is it those guys can run the football, but as you know, you need the guys up front to block for them. And I know it's all highlights, but I was impressed with the line play too against Lyle.
Yeah, our line I think has improved each and every week. We have a sophomore, Cade Pointer, who stepped in and done a fantastic job for us. Along with our returning starter, Luke Nolan. He's a senior. Owen Kurdnock has stepped in the starting role and playing some tackle for us. And then a couple other juniors, William Johnke and Lucas Fitzenmeyer, have really progressed through the year, and they're not looking like juniors anymore. They're not looking like first-year guys. So it's real nice to see that progression.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job.
Yeah, you guys in your offense. Let's talk defense, okay? So,
I was going to talk.
So we're going to pull that. We're going to pull that Morris score off the board because let's face it, it's Morris. They're out of here. We won't worry about them the rest of the year. Take that score out of the equation, Coach. You've got a defense that's locking everybody down so far.
Yeah, they really stepped up and answered the challenge after week 1. That kind of left a sour taste in their mouths, and they've really made it a point of pride to really show that's not who they are. And, guys like, again, Gavin Carpenter, Creedy Skubik, Tanner Phillips, have really led that defense. And they want to, stop the run. And, our back end with Jim Feeney, Gabe McHugh, in the secondary, they've really, like I said, wanted to show that they're better than what they showed week 1.
I know you're hosting Piatone tomorrow night. Again, Tully and his guys, again, probably a very misleading 2-2 record. What do they bring tomorrow night? What do you got to be concerned with?
They're always an extremely well-coached team. You mentioned Coach Tully does a fantastic job over there. They're going to be very good in the trenches. They get after you. They're physical. Their running backs are physical. Defensively, they fly to the football. So, this will be the first time this year we get to see more of that double wing T look as opposed to the spread look. So it's going to be an adjustment for us, but hopefully, our prep work has gotten us ready for tomorrow night because when you play Piatone, you better strap it up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I've got a question, Joe. Do you have something for Coach?
I was just going to ask Francis. After 4 weeks and going into week 5, the health of your team.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. Knock on wood. No major injuries, and like I said earlier about Gavin. Gavin could very easily carry the ball more for us, but we're able to be a little bit deeper in some spots and really try to take the wear and tear off of some of these guys. So, all things considered, week 5, we're pretty good.
Good.
So I have a question. It's a little bit involved, Coach, but stick with me here, okay? So I'm trying to get your opinion and see if you can help us out. Can you fix the Bears for us, please? And we'll wait for an answer.
Oh, where do I start? And I'm sure there's people a lot smarter than me that can answer that one for you. But...
I don't know.
There are people that
will-
make a lot more money than you
Yes.
that are being paid to fix that. But the smart level coach, don't put yourself down.
I don't know about that either.
I just hope that they can find some positives to build on and maybe surprise the rest of the way.
Why is Chicago like the most miserable pro sports town in America? Why? What did we do in a past life?
Francis, Edgy and I talk
did we
about this
do?
daily.
That's a great question.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm also a Sox fan myself.
Oh,
there you
God, here we go.
So yeah, it's been a rough year for us.
Oh,
You know what's funny, Coach? So Facebook will shoot you these memories like from a year ago, 2 years ago. So I got shot one today, a memory saying, and this was from last year, saying this might be the worst year as a White Sox fan I can remember. I'm thinking, pal, and you have no idea what's coming.
too bad they couldn't know the future.
No, you got some bad karma there. Don't do that again.
No, I won't. Because the one thing we have learned as Chicago sports fan is, yes, it can get worse. No matter how bad it is.
Yes. Oh my Lord. Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't ask you if you could help us fix the White Sox.
Oh
Yes.
man, that's a total teardown, I think.
No doubt about it.
I believe you.
The weather's starting to change a little bit. You starting to get that fall feel out there at practice these days?
Yeah,
A little
you can
darker, a
tell with the
little
guys.
earlier, a little darker.
Getting darker, getting a little cooler, and I'll tell you what, I get a little excited. The guys are getting excited. Just getting that time of year, and it just feels like football weather.
Yeah, it really does. It's unique for sure. And again, just the last, is it me, Joe, or the last handful of days it's starting to feel a little,
Yeah, it's starting to feel like fall for sure.
around.
Yes.
Well, good. Well, pal, we always appreciate you taking time and
Yes.
joining us. And again, wish you the best of luck tomorrow night against Coach Tully and Piatone. And we'll definitely stay in touch and
Yes.
go get it. And maybe we'll be talking to you in week 10 and beyond.
Sure hope so. Appreciate you guys having me on.
All right. Good
All
luck,
right,
Francis.
Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Coach
Bye now.
Francis Laughlin from Coal City joining us, Joe. And again, we certainly appreciate him taking some time. And wow, poor guy, he's just like us.
Yeah. Yeah, just like
Just worse. Gets
Oh.
worse. 95 losses, and we've got 9 games left, Joe. Can we do it?
Yes, we can.
I think we
We're
can.
very capable of that.
Very capable. Because the last thing I want to do is have someone say, well, yeah, but the 2023 team didn't lose 100 games. No, they have to lose at least 100.
99 just ain't going to get it done for us.
No.
It's just not going to get it done for us.
Unbelievable. So, again, we appreciate Coach joining us. And we said that'll be a good game tomorrow night. There's no doubt.
It will.
Be another close, obviously well-played Illinois Central 8 game for sure.
Yes.
These two.
Oh, for sure.
Joe, our game of the week, and we're going to hold this a little bit because we're going to have Gavin Johnson up at 6:45. But Reed Custer at Wilmington, again, a lot of questions going into it. Hopefully you guys will come out with some answers.
Right. And again, just like last year, the atmosphere at Reed Custer for that game was outstanding. They took care of us very well. Great atmosphere with the new field. Yep. And we've been down to Wilmington this is my first trip down to Wilmington in about 2 or 3 years. We'll have our little press box on the visitor side, which I really like. You're close to the field and down low. And, and it's going to be a great atmosphere there too. So I'm really looking forward to this game. And again, this I don't think it's going to make either team kind of disrupt the season because there's more games to be played, but it's kind of a big game for both teams.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We talked about Piatone and Coal City just a little while ago with Coach Laughlin. LaSalle Peru at Morris. First of all, congratulations to Alan Thorson for getting his career 100th win this past week over Woodstock North. So he
I don't have the applause sound effect. Fine.
You're just fine. Very good, Evan. So it probably took him about 6 hours to get home, but was able to celebrate with his family afterwards back from Woodstock North. Joe, I've made the case that winning 100 games post Dan Darlington era is almost like winning 200 games at a lot of other schools.
Sure.
Between the pressure, the footsteps you're walking into with Ford Durgo, Darlington. Again, just that the expectations to win and win consistently in that town. That 100 wins for as short a time as he's been there is a pretty big accomplishment.
I totally agree with you. In my opinion, he's an outstanding coach.
Yep.
Knows his players, gets the players to play hard all the time, and
they're in contention every year. I mean, some years are better, right? Some years are better than others, but he gets them there.
And the dynamics of his area throughout his time there has changed. The Morris area has changed dramatically, and you've seen it firsthand, Edge, where sometimes as these communities evolve, you see these programs decline as a result. And Morris has been able to overcome each and every hurdle along the way, and a lot of that is a testament to his leadership.
Yes.
So, with that being said, they're hosting LaSalle Peru. Always a solid team. Can't overlook them because, Joe, week 6, you're hosting Richmond Burton, which is going to be a huge game in Morris. It might wind up there. Week 6, by the way, statewide is ridiculous, the matchups. There's some great matchups.
You're not the first person I've heard say that.
About what?
About week 6.
Yeah, there's a ton.
About just some of the games going on around week 6. Like what's
like Batavia, Geneva.
Always a great game.
Right, especially now that Geneva's actually holding up their end of the bargain with the rivalry.
That's such a crazy rivalry. My dad and I randomly one year just went just to see what it was like, and we were both like, this is kind of crazy.
It's intense. Yeah, and it's at Geneva, which is even better. So it's not that there's nothing wrong with it being at Batavia, but Geneva's have you been to Geneva for a game?
Yes.
It's just a unique background, and you're in the middle of a neighborhood, and all the trees, and by that time you'll have some more colors turning a little bit.
Very old school, backyard kind of feel to it.
Yes, that's a great analysis.
So you've got that for Morris in week 6, and then week 9 they're hosting Sycamore, and that'll have playoff implications. That'll have all kinds of stuff. So
well, at least it's not too difficult or anything.
Yeah. So again, Morris has a lot to look forward to, but again, you don't want to overlook LaSalle Peru this week if you are Alan Thorson. Lamont certainly seems like Willie's got things back on track. Yes. They are at Oak Forest, and again, Joe, we talked about football in the south suburbs, and I know there's a game tonight. I think TF South is playing Bremen. Our good friend Dan Stell over at Bremen gets a home game, by the way, because TF South is still in the process of I don't know if they're like putting down a 10-yard strip at a time of field turf at South or what they're doing, but it's the longest renovation in the history of high school renovations, I think. So again, Bremen gets a home game on a Thursday night, and I just don't know how good the conference is, Joe. And if I'm a Lamont fan, I think it's always kind of been a concern, I would think. But I think the last couple of years in particular, I think you're seeing some decline for sure in the South Suburban Blue.
I agree. Yes. I thought you were going to go to the next game. I agree. When they first got in the conference, that was my first year at Lamont.
Right.
And it was a very, very solid football. I mean, there was 4, 5, 6 teams in a very tough conference. But over the past, I would say 5, 6 years, it has gone down.
TF South up 7-0 over Bremen, 2:47 left second quarter, thanks to Matt Now, our good friend Matt Now's out there tonight. Follow Matt, by the way. I'll put it up there again. Matt does a really nice job. You follow him again. You can follow him on Twitter. Just I'll actually, I wish I had his Twitter account in front of me. Matt, DM me your Twitter and make sure more people follow him. Matt's always out of games. Just kind of a fan, has a blog, does a nice job blogging stuff. I know he puts his 30, kind of like a confidence pool every week. He does 30 games and puts them in the order of confidence pool. It's pretty cool. Matt does a really nice job.
Yes.
So I thought I'd plug to him. But
yes.
Joliet Central, Joliet West. Again, we're going to have Thomas Hart on in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll save a little bit of a preview for that. Plainfield Central, Plainfield East.
Plainfield Central, I think.
Yeah. It's just, you want to see East get things turned around. And I just think, Harvey Jackson is going to get it done. I don't think there's any doubt, Joe. There's a great assistant coaching staff there with him. Joey, you got to have the horses sometime. I just don't think East has really the horses right now.
And in week one, we had Susan for about 20 minutes, and I picked them as my surprise team. And he says maybe not this year, but next year for sure.
Yeah,
It'll take a year.
Yeah, I think they'll get a win. They'll get a couple wins this year. I just don't see it happening this week.
Right.
You know what? We're going to step aside and take a break. We're leading up to our next guest. We're going to step aside. You're listening to the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Do you need a ride somewhere and would rather talk to a person on the phone when requesting your ride? No problem. Just call 1-833-USE-UBER from your cell phone. That's right. You can now call Uber to request a ride, either the moment you need a ride or call ahead up to 30 days in advance. No app needed. Just call 1-833-USE-UBER. After the call, we'll send you a text with details about your trip and the driver picking you up, including their name, car type, license plate number, and estimated time of arrival, so you can ride stress-free. Call 1-833-USE-UBER to request your ride. The call is toll-free. Here's what riders have to say.
It's easier than looking through the app and making sure you've done it right. It's better talking to a person and hearing, okay, we're all set. They'll be there.
I think using this service is amazing. They understood what I was interested in and how to get there.
Call 1-833-USE-UBER and get a ride with Uber. The call is toll-free and you can select either English or Spanish. Just call 1-833-USE-UBER. That's 1-833-USE-UBER.
Hi, this is Kathy Carosa from the Pocus on Tour radio show. Bruce and I would like you to join us every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right here on WJOL 1340 AM. Will County's news, talk, and sports.
A part of our community's rich tradition, St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church at 310 North Broadway Street in Joliet has been sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ for over 165 years and has the nation's longest-running continuous Sunday morning broadcast beginning in 1926. Reverend David Totsky, pastor of St. Peter's, invites you to join them in worship every Sunday for their divine service in person at 9 a.m. or on their radio broadcast at 11 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
Now at Staples, the prices of HP printers are dropping. Save on HP Smart Tank and enjoy even more savings on ink. Save on the HP Inkjet, perfect for high-quality pics. Save on HP laser printers, great for tackling high-volume document printing. Now through September 30th, save on Staples' entire selection of HP printers, some as low as $69.99. With HP printer price drops at Staples, now is the time to upgrade to HP, America's most trusted printer brand. See staples.com/HP for details.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
Let's be honest, insurance rates have skyrocketed over the last 18 months and none of us are happy. This is State Farm agent Kevin Malloy, and I feel the same pain you do when the bill comes in the mail. When times are at their worst, people are looking for someone they can trust, and with 5 consecutive years of being named the best of Will County in the insurance category, why not consider calling the Malloy Agency? 815-463-5800. Like a good neighbor, we are and will be there when you need us.
Pigskin Preview with EDGYTIM on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM, along with the coach Joe Rodegaro and Evan Bredesen spinning the dials. Again, I mentioned our friend Matt now out at TF South Bremen. If you're watching on YouTube, hello everybody. And there's Matt's stuff, so you can go follow him on Twitter. And appreciate him always contributing every week. Joe?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go out to the phone lines, talk to the head coach of the Reed Custer Comets. Gavin Johnston will join us, and Coach, great to have you back. And, again, a little rough start there at 1-2. And I know defensively, a little bit of a struggle there, but it looks like you put it together last week. And, won't get any easier this week. Now you're on the road at Wilmington, but at least you got them heading in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah, and with all the pieces we're replacing, so we started sophomores at both tackles, and we got I think 4 of them up with us, and quite a few juniors, and we're figuring out the team as we go throughout the year, but they're figuring out varsity football as well, and giving up 81 points there in weeks 2 and 3 was kind of a bit of concern. Especially with what we were giving up on the ground. Last week we held Herscher to negative yards rushing. So that was really good to see them respond that way.
Is it just the green starting to wear off now and those kids getting in and maybe not being as deer in the headlights and maybe things slowing down for them a little bit? Is that kind of what you're seeing with this group?
Yeah, I sure hope so. And I think offensively it was it happened a little bit easier for us there in the second half at Johnsburg week 2, being able to put up 20-some points in the second half, then 63, in the first game. That helped, but the defense is where you win the championships, and that's where you win the game. So, I think it's yet to be seen, especially with a team like Wilmington coming up here. That'll definitely test us defensively, but I hope that's the case. But it's not about the effort. It's not about the talent or anything like that. I mean, there's just times where we play a little bit high and you get a little bit tired sometimes in games, and you'll learn to play lower the next time.
Gavin, first of all, thanks for the information for the game on Friday. I do really appreciate it.
No problem.
And looking at things that you sent me, the first thing that kind of Rex Pfeiffer jumps out at me, but your quarterback Jacob Reardon, he's really a two-way threat at quarterback, throwing and passing the football. I mean, throwing, passing, and running.
Yeah, and in our offense, you kind of have to be. And our offense coordinator, Nick Klein, does a great job of, kind of keeping teams guessing whether we're running or passing and who's running the ball as well.
Right.
So, they have to cover every gap, and also the gaps that aren't even supposed to be, because we might pull our lineman right, and then he reads something and pulls it and runs left. So that stresses the defense, sideline to sideline. But, for being a junior and being the guy that, he wasn't even expecting to be the guy to start off the year, he's done a really nice job. And like you mentioned, Rex is just having an absolutely phenomenal year with 12 touchdowns already. And, he would have ran the ball for us last year quite a bit as well, but we didn't, we felt like we really needed him defensively. Him and a guy like Travis Bohawk also has been running the ball really well for us. And those guys have done a lot of taking the pressure off of Jake as a junior, making his first couple starts here.
Every time I hear Johnsburg, I just get cold. I don't know why, Coach. Every time I've been to Johnsburg, it's been like 20 below, wind, because, there's nothing between like Minneapolis and Johnsburg. There's nothing. So it literally is just wind that rolls in from the prairie, and it's unbelievable. The conference, again, always seems to get you guys prepared come postseason time, and a little bit tighter than usual. I mean, it seems like, obviously Wilmington's up there as one of the top teams, but it seems like relatively pretty competitive so far.
Yeah, we've had a lot of close games there, and with some of the other teams, like I know Mantino, we had the Mantino and Herscher film. That was a 1-point game. It came down to a block PAT, and there's a lot of scoring going on in the conference as well. So defensive coordinators are losing a little bit of sleep, and I think we're pretty balanced. And like you said, it does a really good job preparing the postseason.
So, Coach, we'll ask you this.
To get there.
Yep, we'll ask you this question as well. If you got a few moments to spare, can you fix the Bears for us, please? And how would you do it?
You know what? I am not a Bears fan. So I've kind of been sitting back and enjoying it, to be honest with you.
How is that? Can you tell us?
Who do you root for then?
Yeah, who do you root for?
Yeah, this is not going to go over well. So,
you're a Packer fan. That's all right.
I am not. No. Okay, so I used to live in Taylorville, Illinois, Central Illinois, and the Rams moved to St. Louis. My dad was a Rams fan.
So you're not bitter and angry like we are.
I used to have season tickets, so I kind of grew up just cheering for the Rams and St. Louis Cardinals. I'm a St. Louis fan. So I've kind of always been a Chicago hater. Besides the White Sox, I like the White Sox because we both look like
God, you're cursed. See,
You're cursed like one out of two isn't bad.
It's
Edge.
not bad, but can you imagine being both? Oh, you're talking to two of them right here.
Thank God for high school football, Gavin. That's for
sure.
Right.
You know, and you said that, I'm thinking, you know, when St. Louis, you know, when the Rams left St. Louis and people were bummed out. Can you imagine if the Bears left Chicago?
There might be a parade.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
It might be the longest drunken week celebration there's ever been, ever.
It might have to be the third city after that.
Man.
That's right.
Again, Gavin, I don't know what our forefathers did all those years ago to curse us, but boy, it was a doozy. Love to know what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well. All right, my friend. Well, again, we are excited to get to see you guys tomorrow night.
Yes.
That, of course, is our game of the week, Reed Custer at Wilmington. Nothing to see in the pregame, so don't even bother going. Just turn on the radio and, you know, because, you know, Wilmington's not going to do anything major at pregame. So,
no.
But, Gavin, just keep him in the locker room. There's nothing to see. And just come out and kick off and be ready to go. But all seriousness aside, should be a great game. Always a great atmosphere at Wilmington. And good to talk to you, pal. And we'll definitely get a hold of you later in the year for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, great catching back up with you guys again. Thanks again for letting me on the show.
Good luck.
All right, Gavin Johnston joins us from Reed Custer. And, yeah, how is that? Evan, get on the mic here. I want to ask you because you're another one of the, Joe, we'll call them the blessed people. That are not cursed with the Chicago sports curse that we have. So how does it feel to, like, root for a team that has had relative success over the last several years? I mean, not recently, but, you know.
It was very enjoyable.
Yes.
I enjoyed football.
Do you
season.
enjoy watching Bear fans suffer year in and year out? And you just shake your head like, are they ever going to get smart enough and figure out they're never going to figure it out? Or
it's more of just
because you have to live here, so I know you got to be kind of cool.
It's more of just shock than anything. I'm just I look back and I just think you can't find the quarterback one time. Like everyone stumbles into a quarterback,
right?
Like even
every
the
5
Lions,
years,
even the Lions stumbled into Matt Stafford. Like
yes,
everyone stumbles into a quarterback, and this franchise. You look at their records, and it's like Jay Cutler and then Sid Luckman, and you're thinking like no one in between there set any records.
Yes,
no one. Like we're going back to the single wing and the T formation.
Here's a question. We'll throw it out to the peanut gallery as well. We got a few minutes. Was Jim McMahon a great quarterback?
He was in my opinion, he was a good quarterback on a great team.
Yes. Agree.
That
100%.
was a great team.
Did the job when he needed to. Was very capable. I thought was good to very good in his prime. Unfortunately, his prime was about 15 months. Before injuries and everything else just started taking.
Right.
Don't turn the ball over.
Right.
Manage one or two big plays in the passing game.
That's all he did.
And that's what he did.
But it was good enough to get him a Super Bowl.
And I talked to this gentleman at least 2 or 3 times a week in the morning on my way to bring my grandkids to my grandchild Mason to kindergarten. We were talking about the Bears and about the show this week.
Does Mason have answers or no?
None. No, he does. He just shakes. He's waiting for Saturday morning flag football. Yeah. Papa, what's for treats on the way home?
Donuts.
This gentleman made a great point in my opinion today. He says, think about it, Coach. He said, since Mike Ditka was fired as a Bear coach. The guys that they've had since Coach Ditka has been basically real, I'm not saying soft, but non-controversial type people. And that Ditka would ruffle feathers.
Boring.
Boring type coaches. And we know Ditka, he was not boring as a head coach.
No.
And it just seems like they stick with these people that don't ruffle any feathers and not really do anything. I mean, Lovie Smith.
Isn't that society, though, now? Pretty much.
Yeah, that's true, too.
I love color.
Yeah,
I love colorful people.
Was Wanstead boring?
No, but
because I don't really remember.
He's a lot better on the radio than he is at coaching on the sideline.
But
That's my opinion.
Because as an analyst, I really
He's
enjoy
very
him.
good.
I enjoy.
I think you and I talked about
Why
that.
did
He's really
everyone
good.
dislike him so much? And then I go look at his record. I'm like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
And again, he followed Ditka, so I mean, everybody's going to hate him from the beginning anyway. All the fans,
Coach.
But you're right. I mean, after the Bears lose for the last 2 weeks, the first I didn't even go back to another game. I watched the after show for an hour and just listen to them analyze what went wrong. And it's really good. And Edgy and I, like I said, we're talking about this. He's on the score once or twice a week, and I like him as an analyst. He really knows what he's talking about. But unfortunate for him, he was in the process of after Coach Ditka.
Alex Acevedo and watching us on YouTube. Alex, thanks for watching. Says they need to hire Jim Harbaugh.
Well, he would definitely be
Hey,
controversial.
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's gone after this year.
Well, if you're going to go with that, go with Coach Prime. You might as well bring in Coach Prime.
He was
pros are the next stop, right?
I'm convinced Harbaugh's gone after this year.
I am too.
There's just because after this year, whether he wins,
I think JJ McCarthy's going to wind up going pro. I think he can after this year. I got to double check that, but
yes, he can.
Yeah. So we'll see.
The question is where, and then the age-old question: how much power does he want?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we've seen how that's gone well with college coaches in the past.
Yes.
Joe, TF South up 13-7 over Bremen at the half, if you're following.
Sounds like a good game. Thanks.
Let's go
Matt.
through a few more games in the area, Joe. Minooka at Oswego East. Joe, is this the test that the Minooka Indians desperately need at this time of the year?
I definitely think so, but I put Oswego East in that category of Neuqua Valley. Who's going to show up?
Yeah. Well, I knew going in at Oswego East. I think Tyson LeBlanc would have told you this too. Going in, they were going to have some issues at quarterback. They were rotating a couple of kids in offensively, and sometimes Joe, when you have two, you don't have none. So I think they're still trying to figure it out, but they need to get things going. Minooka, they need to test, and hopefully this is the first couple of tests coming.
This is one of them. Yep.
Because they're going to, and again, not their fault. It's just the way the schedule played.
And they're going to have some more down the road for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. So that should be a good ball game. Alex also asked us our thoughts on Bradley and Lockport. Wow, is that a game, Joe? That's a dangerous one for Lockport. And I know we say that all the time about Bradley. I mean, even Bradley played. The score didn't reflect it, but people I talked to involved said Bradley played East tough.
Yeah, this is. I got this one asterisk as one of the intriguing games.
Yeah,
for me,
100%.
And playing, as you said, Bradley's a very good team. Yep. And playing down there is just hard for opponents to win down there.
And Lockport needs a bounce back.
They sure do.
They need a good week this week. So we'll see. All right, we're gonna step aside and take a break. Hour 1 in the books, but don't go anywhere after ABC News. We'll be back. Hour number 2. We will have Thomas Hart from Joliet Central and Tikas Pettigrew from Bolingbrook joining us. So, again, you are listening to the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Your home for Will County's news, talk, and sports. We're 1340 WJOL.
The Ramsey Show. If you got $750, Joe Biden wants to know it.
Dave, you're stupid and arrogant.
Not sure where you went to school for your math class, but you failed. You people in corporate America are idiots. You're just dumb. But I think we're confused as to who's arrogant on this call, brother.
I've got a book suggestion for Chris. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a classic. You should read it.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 6, here on 1340 WJOL.
Will County's News Talk Sports, 1340.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
Justin Fields did not have a good day.
Live from the Rich Eisen Show studio in Los Angeles.
What do you think would cause you to think so much?
Could be coaching.
Oh, my goodness. Coaching.
Yikes.
The Rich Eisen Show. Earlier on the show, co-host of Good Morning Football, Kyle Brandt. Coming up, senior writer.
That a faulty front tire contributed to the accident. Although, again, this is still under investigation. That's a preliminary determination.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul. The Pentagon says up to $325 million in security assistance is headed to Ukraine, designed to bolster its air defense systems.
I thank United States of America and Mr. President for the new defense package for Ukraine, a very powerful package. Thank you so much.
Ukrainian President Zelensky visiting the White House today. The trial of two Aurora, Colorado police officers accused in the death of a black man began today.
In the first day of testimony, prosecutors have been teeing up showing the body-worn camera video seen around the world in 2019 of Elijah McClain being stopped by Aurora police. They took him to the ground, held him with a carotid artery hold. McClain was injected with a sedative ketamine, and his pleas could be heard that he couldn't breathe and that he was an introvert and just wanted to be left alone. McClain died. Video forensics experts have been testifying about how they work with body-worn camera video. Prosecutors are trying to show that the officers contributed to McClain's death.
ABC's Alex Stone. A new plan from California's insurance commissioner aims to stop the nation's top insurers from leaving the wildfire-prone state by letting them consider climate risks when they set their prices. You're listening to ABC News.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. But right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Not all residents in Boca Chica, Texas are happy to have SpaceX as a neighbor.
Liftoff, Starlink 4-8.
SpaceX launches have become routine along the deep South Texas coast, but not everyone is pleased.
It's very painful to go out there and see how much it's changed.
Victoria Guerra and others have sued Cameron County for closing the beach before every SpaceX launch.
The plaintiffs are claiming absolute right to go to the beach anytime they choose.
Cameron County Attorney Jim Allison says,
that's not the case. That's not the law.
So far, the courts have sided with the county and SpaceX. The plaintiffs are appealing. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Additional U.S. aid has been airlifted into flood-ravaged Libya. Pentagon Press Secretary Pat Ryder says to date, the U.S. has provided $12 million in disaster relief.
The United States delivered more than 13 metric tons of critical life-saving humanitarian supplies to northeastern Libya.
Libyan officials estimate more than a quarter of the city of Derna was destroyed by the flooding. Sales of previously owned homes fell in August for the third month in a row. And compared to this time last year, the National Association of Realtors says pre-owned home sales are down more than 15%. The reasons? Higher mortgage rates, higher home prices, and not enough listings. Networking tech giant Cisco is buying cybersecurity firm Splunk in a $28 billion deal to keep up with potential security threats from artificial intelligence. This is ABC News.
As a roofer, I've got a million things to do, and that's a million things that need to be done right. That's why I partner with Beacon. The team at Beacon makes sure my materials are delivered accurately and on time. And the Beacon Pro Plus app makes ordering the brands I depend on, like CertainTeed Landmark Pro, easier than ever. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through November, purchase CertainTeed through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Daria Albinger, ABC News.
The name to know for heating and air conditioning too.
Treat every homeowner like they're your favorite aunt. Hi, this is Rick Crenholm, president of Johansson & Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning. Our focus is to remember that everyone who calls us, especially in emergencies, is someone's aunt, grandma, father, or brother. We work hard to give you and your loved ones the best possible service, from answering the call quickly to honestly telling you what's wrong to giving you straight pricing with options to keep it affordable but functional. It's probably why I get a lot of calls asking me to have my guys take a look at their aunt's system and how I see our hard work as Johansson and Anderson's role in keeping our community safe, comfortable, and vibrant. If your family's home needs heating and air conditioning, call the name you can trust for over 75 years, Johansson and Anderson. Call J&A today, sleep tight tonight. Call 815-723-9383. Johansson and Anderson, a York certified comfort expert.
Providing comfort all year round. Johansson and Anderson.
Your taxes are overdue, but you still haven't filed. Maybe you haven't filed for years. What started out as one mistake has now turned into a major issue, but now it's overwhelming. Don't wait any longer. Call Greg Severson of the CPA firm of Cordano, Severson and Associates. You've heard about Greg Severson for years and how he's helped many other people and businesses deal with the IRS, from fixing past errors to reducing your back taxes to working out reasonable payment plans. Whatever your issue is with the IRS, Greg has the experience and the success to help you or your business get through this. Don't let the problem get any worse. Give yourself some peace of mind and call Greg Severson today. Call the firm that's provided quality tax advice for over 50 years right here in the Will County area. 815-744-1900. That's 815-744-1900. Cordano, Severson and Associates, a firm that you can trust and your business can afford. Co-founder and proud member of the Will Buy Local Alliance.
Let's be honest, insurance rates have skyrocketed over the last 18 months and none of us are happy. This is State Farm agent Kevin Malloy, and I feel the same pain you do when the bill comes in the mail. When times are at their worst, people are looking for someone they can trust. And with 5 consecutive years of being named the best of Will County in the insurance category, why not consider calling the Malloy Agency? 815-463-5800. Like a good neighbor, we are and will be there when you need us.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
In your car, at home, on the job, AM radio has more than 80 million listeners each month. For more than a century, AM radio has evolved to meet the needs of our community. Visit wearebroadcasters.com and tell us how you depend on AM.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is hour number 2 of the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports. Edgy Tim here along with the coach. You know him, you love him. He's a hero in the community. Coach Joe Rodegaro.
Yes.
Evan Bredesen spinning the dials and trying to keep us out of trouble. God knows that's a full-time job, Joe.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And this edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by our State Farm agents, John Wright in Joliet and Kevin Malloy in New Lenox. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
And again, want to congratulate the Week 4 State Farm agent Kevin Malloy Pigskin Preview Player of the Week, which was Joliet West junior linebacker Micah McNair. Our broadcast schedule is as follows: 6:05 Friday Night Lights tomorrow night. Evan Bredesen, then kickoff at 7 o'clock from Wilmington as the Wildcats host Reed Custer. Then Joe, Saturday bonus football.
Yes.
11:30 kickoff, Joliet Central. The Steel Dudes head over west and take on Joliet West. Again, you can hear that game right here Saturday at 11:30 on the kickoff. Joe will be there. Scott Slocum will be there. I will be there. So we will have the full posse in effect.
Yes.
Joe, let's go out to the phone lines. We are very happy and excited to welcome in the head coach of the Joliet Central Steelmen right now, our guy, Thomas Hart. Yes. Coach Hart, thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for having me. Again, sorry, Edgy, I called you. I showed my rookie status there. I was getting nervous.
You know what? It's kind of nice to have that rookie status, and it's our fault for not having you on sooner. So we will work through this, and again, just great to have you on. Well, it's that time of year. You go play your district rival across the way. Give us the status on the program these days. Where are you at? Where are the lower numbers at? How are things progressing program-wise?
We're staying real strong with numbers. Again, we're very young on the lower levels. About 50 freshmen still out. We're very young on our upper levels too, on our varsity. We really, if you look at, I sent Joe today the roster, on our starters. The offensive side of the ball is junior, seniors, a couple sophomores in there, and then on the flip side, we have 2 seniors on the defensive side, and the rest are juniors and sophomores. So and the numbers show that's where we're struggling. So they're getting that experience that is crucial to success later on.
How tempting is it to bring younger kids up, and what determines that in your opinion? Is it more need? Is it a combination of you think a kid is ready to handle that and ready to take on that experience? I mean, what goes in that decision, Coach?
A lot of that has to do with who showed up over the summer, and and really in that relationship and that trust that we build as coaches and players, that we can go, this kid can handle it when situations get rough. And that's the biggest part. I would love if we were 3 levels and we just roll with the punches. And I think next year that's definitely in the conversation if we get a huge freshman class like we did. I think next year the 3 levels is a conversation, but since we went to 2 with a freshman schedule, because we didn't have the sophomore numbers at the time, that really kind of pushed our hand. And so we look at the fresh soft level as, hey, this is our developmental level. These are the kids that are new or probably never seen or touched the football before. And here's, these are the kids who know what's going on and can gain that crucial experience. Again, that turns, those high pressure situations in our favor, and then those turn into wins.
Tom, I did get the information. Thank you very much. And I was talking to the other coaches, especially Gavin Johnston. And when I asked for that, you guys are really quick giving me that. So I thank you very much. And you talked about, the underclassmen and the experience of and I agree with you as a coach that it's valuable experience. You may get knocked around this year, but the experience that you have for next year and the idea of playing varsity football is huge. And what you sent me and what was impressive to me is the fact that, you gave me your start. You only have 2 guys really kind of going both ways. And I'm sure you kind of sub those guys out every once in a while. So you basically are playing 2 platoon football. And what I count on the roster, I think 49 or 50 guys, which is, I think, very good for you guys at that level. So playing a lot of people, and as you said, playing a lot of underclassmen, you might be 0-4, but it's more than just, to me, 0-4 or the record. It's the experience that these younger players get at this time for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at the stats, like especially with our offense who's been killing it, I mean, we're scored 400 more, or we have 400 more offensive yards already out of these 4 games than we had all of last year. We're at about 1,700. Last year we had about 1,300. And that shows where our experience is and where our playmakers are. But it also shows, again, Jerry Blue, my offense coordinator, has more coaching years than I've been alive.
Yep.
And he can turn coal into diamonds. So now we're just building that other side that can just roll.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm looking forward to getting to see you guys on Saturday for sure. I've got a few friends over there, Joe, that
yes,
I need to go over and say hello to. How special is this game? Is it that kind of deal where some of those guys, they know you guys, I know the players, obviously there's some relationships there and what have you. I mean, is it that kind of unique feeling playing them every year?
There's definitely, this is the week where kids mostly, the most kids show up and they show out, because their friends, their family, their cousins, everyone's going to be there. And I'm hoping, and again, right now, especially with how our side of the conference has been going these first 4 weeks, everyone's going to be looking for a win, and everyone's circling Joliet Central. So, right now, I just had this conversation with my team. We're not just an easy win anymore, I hope. And I know tomorrow or on Saturday is going to be the first step that we show that if you want a W, you better bring your lunch because it's coming.
Tom, I got one question about a player. Last year, Scott Slocum and I did the game at your place against Joliet West, and one young man who was a sophomore at the time really impressed me, Christian Smith. And just talk about him a little bit. He got dinged up a little bit in the game and sat a little bit, but wanted to go back out. And I remember, I think it was Tony told him, no, sit down, you're hurt. But he wanted to play. But when he was playing, to me as a sophomore, he was very impressive to me.
Yeah, and that's he is taking it upon himself to make plays and make things happen, and he does. Whether he's returning the ball or he's receiving or he's getting the ball in his belly, he makes things happen. They could be 10 guys on top of him, but he still finds a way out of there, gets going, and and it really is a testament to also the people around him.
Yes.
He's one of the ones too that they're all. I'm in that weird place now as year 3 as a head coach, where now the things that I've been saying for 3 years, like the kids are saying to each other. And it's nice, that they're taking ownership and they're tired of what the tradition has been. And, I'm incredibly proud of them. And I know, I think we're going to shock some people on Saturday.
Awesome. Great to hear. And again, Coach, always good to talk to you. I know we'll be there. It'll be on the radio Saturday. So again, 11:30 kickoff from Joliet West. Joliet Central takes on the Tigers of Joliet West. It's the inter-district rivalry game, and Joe and Scott Slocum on the call. I'll be there covering the game as well. So, Coach, appreciate it as always.
Yes.
Good luck on Saturday, and we'll come over and say hello to you for sure, okay?
Definitely expect a big old bear hug.
Expect nothing less than
Nothing
that
less
from
from you. That's right.
No
Good
doubt
luck. Good
about
luck,
it.
Tom.
All right, Coach. Good luck. All right, Thomas Hart joining us from Joliet Central.
He's
Joe?
a good dude.
He's a very good dude. I tell you what, Joliet schools have 2 very good dudes in charge of their football programs. Again, yesterday we had time to spend with Dan Tito, and
They're both. Yeah,
you just get the energy
Yes.
coming off of Dan Tito.
Yes.
You understand why this program's 3-1 right now. Those kids believe, and they're working hard in practice, and you got to love the message Dan's putting out there as well. It's more than football. It's about being responsible and taking responsibility. And it, I had a chance to stick around. And I talked to Mike a little bit after you guys took off after the presentation, and just impressive stuff. And you're getting the same from Thomas Hart as well. And then he mentioned his staff. I mean, come on. Tony Juarez should be wearing the Steelman suit when he comes out on the field Saturday. Right. I mean, there's no more.
Yeah.
There's no more Joliet Central than Tony Juarez and that Juarez family. No doubt about it. For
sure.
And again, just there's some diehard coaches on that staff that are just roll with Joliet Central. So
yes,
again, rooting for both of them. That game you can hear again tomorrow. Saturday, 11:30 a.m. kickoff. I'll be there. Joe and Scott Slocum doing the call on the radio. So again, you got to go at West, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You got to go at West. But again, I like what we're hearing from Thomas Hart. I'm sure he'll use that pick against us going into Saturday, and good for them. Good for them. But he does make a good point, Joe, about the conference. There's a lot of teams in search of a win this year,
Yes.
and you got to be careful not to overlook a team like Joliet Central.
I totally agree with him. There's going to be some winners this week, but again,
and we saw how it can be done because we saw Coach Boyder. Gave us a little crack of sunlight coming through that one year where they ended up 3 wins, 4 wins. You got to get that younger younger class to stay intact and progress from freshman to sophomore to varsity. And then you hope you get another class behind that. You get a couple in a row, Joe. That's how you start building up some talent, and that's how you start building up some numbers and some success. And
that's
hopefully
why
they're off to a good
And that's
start.
why I wanted to ask Coach Hart about, Christian Smith. He was, as I said before, very impressive. And if he's the type of kid, he's a leader now, and some of these other guys follow suit with him, things will definitely turn around at Joliet.
No doubt about it. All right, we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, Joe.
Yes, sir.
It's a very important day in the state of Illinois football history.
Yes.
We'll get into that and much more when we come back. You are listening to the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Ever have that nagging feeling that you might be leaving money on the table when you're filing your business taxes? Like your longtime bookkeeper or CPA might have missed a credit or deduction your business is eligible for. TaxReview.ai ensures you're not missing out on any state and federal tax credits or even industry or location-specific tax incentives. Plus, you may have major omissions on previous tax returns that can quickly add up to tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash for your business. Make sure you're not paying more taxes than you need to. Double-check your previous tax returns with TaxReview.ai's comprehensive artificial intelligence-driven algorithm. A licensed tax professional will review the AI recommendations, analyze your file, and tell you how much you're owed. Double-checking past tax returns could mean more money coming back to you. The analysis is completely free. Visit TaxReview.ai today to begin your free review. That's TaxReview.ai. Tune in to 1340 WJOL every Monday at noon for the Prepare to Repair Show, presented by PrepareToRepair.com. Through discussions with licensed experts, Prepare to Repair will empower homeowners to take the fear out of home improvement. With over 20 years of experience, host Steve Suarez has seen it all. He and his guests will educate homeowners on how to plan for your upcoming projects. Tune in every Monday at noon for the Prepare to Repair Show with RJ Grand Plumbing, and visit PrepareToRepair.com. It's the online resource for homeowners. A part of our community's rich tradition, St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church at 310 North Broadway Street in Joliet has been sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ for over 165 years and has the nation's longest-running continuous Sunday morning broadcast beginning in 1926. Reverend David Totsky, pastor of St. Peter's, invites you to join them in worship every Sunday for their divine service in person at 9 a.m. or on their radio broadcast at 11 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
Immediate Cure provides the very best in local, compassionate, and convenient healthcare. I'm Amy.
And I'm April. And we're the owners of Immediate Cure.
Immediate Cure is ready to care for your family from illness to injury, physicals and wellness visits. No appointment needed. Walk into one of our 3 convenient clinics in Joliet, Short, and Plainfield, offering 14 combined hours of care. Visit ImmediateCure.com for locations and hours, and to save your spot, open every day. At Immediate Cure, we care more.
Losing a loved one is never easy, and planning a funeral can be overwhelming. We at Farkas Funeral Home in Joliet are here to provide guidance and support for you and your family during this difficult time. We offer a cozy and relaxing atmosphere, and together we can create a beautiful tribute to your loved one. If you're in need of cremation or funeral service, visit Farkas Funeral Home at the corner of Jefferson and Essington in Joliet, or visit FarkasFuneralHome.com. Farkas Funeral Home, offering peace and comfort to those dealing with loss.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Rodegaro and Evan Bredesen. This edition and every edition brought to you by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy and New Lenox. And John Wright and Joliet. Yeah, Joe, I know, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, whatever.
That's what Captain Lightsky wanted me to say, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
there you go, Captain. We took care of it. We
of it.
Covered it. So we'll open up phone lines. We got a little time here. 815-254-7300. Joe, the tease before we went to commercial. Could be a very important day in the state of Illinois for college football.
Yes.
According to very reliable online sources, Joe. They're so reliable I can't even remember where I got it from. But the word is Chicago State University has approved the process of beginning to raise funds to establish a Division I football program that they are hoping could be up and operational as early as 2025.
Yows.
Joe, if that is certainly the case, I think we owe it to this area and to all the people in this area that we are broadcasting from. I think it's time to drag the old skeleton out of the closet.
I know where you're going with
and
this.
let's start. The Lewis is going to start D2 football rumor again. It's a very popular one over the years. Joe, I think it's been around at least 30 years, if not more.
It could be. They talked about it back in '76 when I was there.
So, of course, you cannot start this rumor without Dan Sharp being tied to it somehow.
That's right.
He has to be.
Yes.
It was always tied to Dan Sharp. Dan Sharp will be the coach. By the way, we are hoping to get connected with a very special guest in a moment. If we can get Evan in here for a second, we might be able to hook this up.
Okay.
Good for Chicago State, I guess. Here's what I don't understand. The last time I checked, I don't think Chicago State has over 2,000 undergrad enrollment. I know they have a relatively big grad enrollment, graduate students,
right?
Big grad programs. I'm not sure. If you're aware, 815-254-7300. So, again, I mean, they've been playing D1 basketball for a while.
Well,
I don't get it, but
my question is this: they got rid of their baseball team about 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe it's been even more. Now you go and ask people public funding to get your football program going. I think you mentioned they're going to be part of the WAC conference.
Well, they are now.
But you realize the money in travel that's going to do? I mean,
I know.
It's astronomical. And when you get public funds to fund a program, is that going to happen every year?
Right.
I just don't see
I
how
don't
it
either.
happens.
I don't either. So,
because it's not like a baseball program funding; it's football.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, they're talking FCS, so you would be in playing with the likes of Illinois State, Eastern,
North Dakota
Southern. Well, yeah, and then depending where they go, you have to. You good luck. I mean, I don't see it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So, all right, we have a very special guest here at the last minute. So we'll bring our guest in now, our mystery guest.
This is like, what's my line?
It's literally what's my line. So with Chicago State being rumored to starting up Division I football, which I won't hold my breath, but we'll go with it. I feel we owe it to this area to, again, rekindle the Lewis to play Division II football. Coach, special guests. First of all, it's Dan Sharp joining us. Hello, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Joe. How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
I don't know if it's what's my line. I think people are going to wonder, who the heck is this guy?
Well, no, everyone knows who you are, sir. And really, the only ones that really matter are sitting in this room. So who cares who else thinks?
That's for sure.
But I cannot rekindle the Lewis to D2 football without you being attached to the job.
That's right.
Because I think you've been attached to that rumor for about I say at least 30 years.
Yeah, it's been kind of funny how that thing has been, going on, and it's like nothing really has ever happened with it. But
so
I don't know.
Are we kicking off the campaign tonight or no?
No, not at all.
Buttons out and flags?
Not at all.
Oh God, your family's going to want to kill us by the end of the show.
Gosh.
Dan, as soon as I read that, that's the first thing I thought of was, okay, well, if this is going to happen, then we have to start up the Lewis going back to play D2 football. You have to.
Before this even about about 4:45 or 5 o'clock, we both get here and talk. And he saw that. He goes, "We got to call Dan up."
Unbelievable.
How are you?
It would be. I'm doing great. We're wife and I are up in Wisconsin. We're enjoying the early fall up here, and having a great time. I didn't know I would enjoy retirement so much.
Oh, it's great, isn't it, Dan? It's terrific.
It is terrific.
It is terrific.
But it's great to hear from you guys. I keep up on what's happening in the Will County, Joliet area, on the games and high school games and what you guys are doing. And sometimes, now that I'm not coaching, Tim, I'll actually sneak onto your message board and read a couple things.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
to just keep informed. But no, it's everything's good. Everything's going great, and I hope you guys are doing well.
We are. For again, it's plainly obvious that Scott Slocum never listens to his radio station on Thursday. We're very grateful for that.
We'd be off the air.
Very grateful.
And Dan, I want to tell you, now that we have you on, this is the 400th time. So now you get that free sub from Subway from us. Finally, after all these years, this is the 400th time we've talked to you.
Do they have Subway in Wisconsin or?
Yes, they got them up there too. They got them.
What is it, Quick Trip? Isn't that the big one up there?
Yeah, that's the biggie.
Yep.
That's it.
That's like get your coffee, get your fishing supplies, get whatever you need. You get a Quick Trip. So
you get it all. Ready to go.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, it's been going well, and I'm glad the thing all's well there. But it's funny you bring up the Lewis thing. That how long has that been
forever?
Going? And I still think that is one of the most beautiful campuses and beautiful colleges.
Well, and you get
if they decided to do it, it could be
right.
Could be a great success.
I mean, I think technically they still have a football field there. So I mean, it wouldn't take a lot. I mean, okay, it takes a lot. We know that, but it makes a lot of sense on a lot of different levels. But it was just amazing how like every couple of years that thing would get brought up. It's like, I'm hearing Lewis is going to bring back. They're going to start football. They're going to start a D2 program, and I hear Dan Sharp's one of the names being mentioned for the coaching job, and I would just like throw my hands up like, here we go.
And Dan, being a former athletic director and paying the bills for athletic programs, real good. And we're discussing this, and I mentioned, Chicago State actually starting this.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Ballpark figure. when and
they're talking FCS, they're not talking starting up a D3 program. And even that's expensive. But if you go FCS, you have to be D1 in a certain amount of sports, and then you have to have a facility from like a seating capacity wise. It has to be a certain number. So you're going to have to build that at Chicago State unless they go to play at
Gately.
I don't even know if they could pull it off at Gately. They might end up going to like a Toyota Park or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now they have to be Division I in other sports.
Right.
I do know that.
Well, they are in basketball. They are in some others right now.
Which is probably why they're going Division I in football.
Because they want to collect money.
They'd have to keep their other sports in Division I.
Right.
You look at a lot of the private schools such as Drake and
Valpo,
Dayton, and Valpo. They just went Division I, but non-scholarship.
Right.
So they could keep their Division I status in basketball. So maybe that's what their reason. But Division II is the same. But Lewis is already Division II in all their sports. If they decide to go football, that wouldn't be
an easier transition.
Right.
So
easier, yeah.
Yeah,
you're right, Joe. The money it's going to take, because they're not they're talking scholarships. So you're talking 85 scholarships, and that could be a big cost.
FCS is 56 full. So
I see. Okay,
but still, that's 56 full that you're going to have to cough up. And again, we mentioned facilities. So what are you going to do? I mean, okay, they built a gorgeous baseball field, a new one, brand new one at Chicago State.
It's really nice.
But what are you going to do with football? Yeah, like we said, you're going to play.
They don't play baseball anymore at Chicago State, Dan. I mean, I think that at least 4 or 5 years, I would say. I think even before COVID.
Are you sure? You sure they didn't start back up again?
That I don't know for sure. I know they got rid of it though.
Yeah. So it's again, good luck. And I mean, there's a They have a committee, and there's some big names on the committee. There's like one of the former Chicago Bears is on the committee. They've got some big names that are on this exploratory committee. So I don't know, Dan.
I wish them well. It's going to be interesting to see how they do, and I don't know what league they would end up trying to get into.
I couldn't even tell you. I mean, you don't want anything to do with the FCSs that are in this state in the Missouri Valley right now, because that is a monster conference. That is the SEC of FCS football. There's no doubt.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Well, the one thing we can safely rule out is Dan Sharp is not a candidate for either Chicago State or Lewis.
Yes.
I think he can be convinced myself.
I don't know. I don't know.
You could rule out that Dan Sharp's a candidate for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't let the wife hear this discussion. You'll be a candidate for being locked in a room and the key thrown away. And we'll be there with you.
That's for sure.
Oh gosh, you guys are so dull. When I saw your text, Tim, I'm like, what? I go, what's happening?
He's up in the Great North, just relaxing.
That's
and
right.
A text from Edgy about Lewis football.
And you got to shake things up, Joe, every once in a while, as you know. So, Dan, we're always going to shake things up with you every once in a while. Got to keep you on your toes, pal.
It's an honor to be on with you guys, and I'm glad I'm not talking about having to try and take care of St. Francis Wheaton's offense this week. So
there's no doubt.
Done with that right now.
Yep.
So things are in good hands over there with Jake and everybody.
Yep.
So
no,
good.
No doubt about it, for sure. Hey, we'll let you go. Tell the wife and the family and everyone, give them our best.
Yes.
And
yes.
Joe, we'll work on that. We'll work on
for Dan. Yeah.
Coupon for Dan, and we'll get it up to him.
Paperwork down here for you.
Yep.
Same to you guys, you and your family.
Good talking to you,
Dan. From you.
All right, Dan.
Keep doing what you're doing. It's great for the community.
We're just two stupid guys doing stupid things.
That's right.
You guys are the best.
All right, Coach.
Take care, Dan. Good talking to you.
Hall of Fame head coach Dan Sharp joining us. And Joe, I just had to. I'm sorry. I had to call him.
It was great.
Evan's walking down the hallway. I almost threw something at him. I'm like, Evan, get back here.
He wants to talk to us.
He left a sliver open.
Joe, we got to work on assistant coaches now.
He left a sliver open.
All right, so what staff is Dan putting together?
Oh, boy.
We're going to get in trouble.
Yeah,
well, see, I don't want to get anyone else in trouble, I don't want to do it.
I was going to volunteer Joe for something, but then I remembered that Mrs. Rodriguero would probably stop giving me baked goods. So I am not going to recommend
this is a
whatsoever.
really big incentive for us to be really nice to this guy over here.
That's why I'm on
really nice incentive.
Because of my lovely bride.
Yeah, we got some wonderful pumpkin banana bread.
How good was that?
My wife told me it was delicious.
Oh, so she snagged it. Yeah, see, I get that happens at my house too.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Sometimes it does.
Where's my banana pumpkin bread?
Oh, it was delicious.
Was that supposed to be for you too?
I thought you had some already. Oh, okay.
Oh, and believe me, I let my wife know when Deb sends stuff in. Oh, by the way, we had delicious pumpkin banana bread. Delicious. Unbelievably good. And Deb sent cookies.
Yep.
Our own little bag.
Yes.
Bag of love made just for us. Thank you, Deb Rodriguero. That was fun. That was
really good.
Again, Dan the best. I mean, you call him at any time.
But in all seriousness, we joke about that rumor. I was a freshman at Joliet Catholic in 2001. I remember hearing that rumor then. Yes. That once Lewis started their team, he was going to leave and he was going to end up being the head coach at Lewis.
And it
in
makes,
2001.
It makes a lot of sense. Like Dan said, they're already D2 and everything else.
And it really got hot when the rumor was that the Bears might train there
at Lewis,
right? At Lewis,
and then that also made sense because you could renovate and upgrade the facility there and build it up, and you had a reason to do that. And good thing they didn't, because it didn't last very long. They wound up running back to Lake Forest. I don't think they'll ever leave Lake Forest.
No,
honestly,
not with the indoor facility there. And I know they made a couple more fields there.
But I mean, they did well by Platteville for a long time, and they did well by Kankakee for a long time. So it worked out. But most NFL teams now just stay in the complex because most of them have gorgeous brand new complex is built for them.
Right.
So, by the way, did I give you a score? TF South 19-7 over Bremen.
Yes.
4:43 third quarter. Thank you, Matt. Matt. Now, so all right, we're gonna step aside and take a break. When we come back, Tikas Pettigrew, Bolingbrook, going to talk to him, find out what's going on with the Raiders these days. You're listening to the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Hi, I'm Christy Lister from M&M Mortgage, division of M&M Bank. M&M Mortgage services Joliet and surrounding communities as your big bank alternative. Our friendly staff is ready to serve you at our 4 local branches for all your banking needs, especially mortgage services. If you're considering purchasing a new home, need a home equity line of credit, or want to refinance, your head may be spinning right now. Let the M&M Mortgage team guide you through their worry-free lending process. Block out the noise and have a conversation with our experienced team. We'll help you navigate this time of uncertainty with confidence. Our M&M Mortgage team is here to help you with any questions you have about borrowing for a purchase or a refinance. Call me, Christy Lister, to discuss your worry-free lending with M&M Mortgage, as well as our low down payment programs for home buyers. Call me, Christy Lister, at 815-955-9970 to find out more. That's 815-955-9970. Christy Lister, NMLS 1117253, M&M Mortgage, a division of M&M Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-627-3604. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-627-3604. That's 800-627-3604. What do you have to lose? Call 800-627-3604. Again, 800-627-3604.
Tune in to 1340 WJOL next Monday morning for Will County's Habitat for Humanity, Building Homes and Changing Lives. Hosted by members of the Will County Habitat for Humanity. Topics during the show will include affordable housing in Will County, how to become a Habitat partner Habitat is building in Will County, and ways you can get involved on their construction sites with their Restore and their upcoming events. Will County's Habitat for Humanity, Building Homes and Changing Lives will run 2 Monday mornings a month from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the 2-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
1340 WJOL presents Tim Kerpen's House Talk, Thursday afternoons at 12:15, hosted by the owner of Kerpen Inspections, Tim Kerpen. There's so much you can do around the house, and each week, Tim will give you the ins and outs on how to make your home the best it can be and keep your energy bills down. If you're a business and would like to advertise or be featured on the show, call 708-935-3050. Tim Kerpen's House Talk, Thursday at 12:15 on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. This is the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. EDGYTIM along with Coach Joe Rodriguero. Evan Bredesen also joining us tonight. And guys, we are thrilled to have the head coach, the first-year head coach of the Bolingbrook Raiders, Tikas Pettigrew, joining us. And, Coach, appreciate you taking some time tonight, and welcome back to the show.
Thank you all for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, you know, I know we started the last time we had you on, we talked about the offense, and we obviously know of the playmakers and the guys that you have back on offense. But I tell you what, one of the things that caught Joe's attention and my attention after your week 4 win over Homewood Flossmoor, Boy, it looks like the defense is starting to figure some things out.
Yeah, it's a young group. Like I said, we have 2 seniors starting. Everybody else will be back next year. So it's the maturation process of going through some things. Most of the time when you have a prolific offense like we do, it's going to take some time for our defense to catch up. But they're playing fast. I love the way they rally to the ball. We're starting to embrace physicality, and we're only going to keep getting better. So super excited about that.
Coach, I know we wanted to talk about the defense, and it didn't surprise me, but I knew you'd probably get things straightened out. But that was a huge win for you guys last week. I want to talk about Jonas Williams. I saw Bolingbrook play twice last year, and there were times when Jonas Williams looked like a senior quarterback as a freshman, and other times, to me, he looked like a freshman. How has his progress been from last year to this year for you guys, going into week 5?
I think it's continuing to grow only because we're allowing him to make more decisions as opposed to giving him a couple of targets and making it easy for him, trying to get him ready for big-time football. So he is our decision maker because we do not tell him who to throw it to. So from that standpoint, still being young and getting that type of responsibility, he's like I said, he's doing very well. I think he's very mature for his age in that situations don't rattle. Like sometimes he'll make a decision, he'll make a great play, but he bounces back from a great play to adversity to just stick in there and he's becoming that it factor to the point to where we're not restricting him, and we all going through growing pains, but he's figured it out a lot faster than the average QB. I'll tell you that much.
Edge, this is the guy we need. We've been asking the coaches how to fix the Bears. You just gave us the answer with your quarterback. I think you should be the coach of the Bears to figure things out. Just let the kid play.
Hey. Don't put that pressure on me, but
we've been coach. We have asked every coach we've had on this show tonight, how do you fix the Bears and can you fix them for us? So you're as close to the answer
as anybody else.
Yeah, I think if you want the team to rally around somebody, it has to be your QB.
Yeah.
And to see him go out and learn and fight and grow, other players are going to gravitate, get behind him and say, okay, you know what? We're not letting this young man do it by himself. Let's take a stand. So I think that's you see most great QBs, people run through a wall for him because they know he's going to come through. Like he's going to have their back. And I think for the Bears, there's a lot of indecision and you got people questioning. It just got to be, hey, let's pin our ears back. Trust our guys.
Just play.
Yes.
Let's go play football.
I agree with you 100%, Coach.
Tikas, a young man I want to talk to you about is a young man that transferred in this summer from Washington High School in Central Illinois. AJ Jones, how's his progression going for you? And I know he was a heck of an athlete when he came up here this summer.
AJ coming into the summer was, to me, ahead of Kion with making great plays every single day.
Wow.
Kion is special, but I have never seen the consistency of the big play catches in a young wide receiver like AJ. Like he, every single day, it just got to the point where it became the norm. Like he's just, and him and Jonas have a connection because they did summer ball together. So they know each other, but the stuff he does, like his work, he never complains. He's a we guy. He never comes to the sideline asking for more catches, touches. He blocks like he wants to catch the ball. So when you got a kid like that that's young and understands it early, like he's going to be a problem this season and for years to come.
How has things gone after 4 weeks in the books going into week 5? Grade yourself a little bit. How do you feel things have gone program wide. And is there anything, Tikas, maybe you would do different or change things up a little bit after 4 weeks?
I'm going to give myself and our staff a strong C+. And the reason why, because we're holding ourselves to the highest standard. And there are still some holes that need to be filled, and that's from coaching to things that may be occurring in the classroom. Like our whole mantra is RAC, responsibility, accountability, and culture. If we can make these young men responsible and hold them accountable, it's going to create a culture for success for years to come. And those things that we're still working on. I love being a teacher in the building because I catch kids if they're late. The whole program has 10 up downs for every kid that comes to class late, shows up in school late. So some days in practice, before we even start, they may owe me 50, 60 up downs, and the freshmen had nothing to do with it. But I think if the whole program's punished, then people are going to be accountable. And then you're going to get good character kids to start building a strong program. Because the athletes are here before me, during me, and after me.
Yep.
It's how we're grooming these young men to be responsible and accountable is what I'm excited about, because a lot of them are accepting it and they're embracing it.
Coach, after 4 weeks, I've asked the coaches that we've had on tonight, how is the health of the team?
We're in the middle of the road, and we're facing some physical teams, and it's going to be physical tomorrow. Lincoln Way West runs that 21 personnel, smash mouth football, and find out how tough you are. And they're a good team. Like everybody we play in this conference is going to put up a fight. So we skate through like fairly healthy, but we have some bumps and bruises and wear and tear from that Homewood Flossmoor game. But we have some second-tier guys that's ready to step in and step up. Like I'm super excited about our second and third-tier players that a lot of people haven't had a chance to see.
Yep.
But barring a couple injuries, what we're excited about and what I saw at practice this week, like I'm ready for some of them to get on the field.
And Coach, I want to give Bolingbrook some credit here. I know a week from tomorrow night, you're going to have a home game. And that is, I believe, when they are going to rename the stadium and the field in honor of Phil Acton and John Ivelo. And Coach, I don't know who came up with that decision or how it came about, but, I just well done, Bolingbrook. And I think it's an honor that both really deserved. And I give you guys a ton of credit for honoring those guys with that.
Well, I haven't had the privilege of meeting Mr. Atkins yet, but Ivelo is like a mentor.
Yeah.
He's the whole reason I came to Bolingbrook. So he's come to some of the JV games, the freshman games that we have on Thursdays, and we talk constantly. Like I said, it's well deserving for a guy that has done so much to the school and the community. And for a lot of the former players. Like he's a stand-up grade A guy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And at the end of the day, like I know he's forever going to continue to help build what he started. So a lot of the kids were jubilant to see him when he showed up at the JV game. Like I said, he's just a good dude. For me, I'm super excited for him to get that opportunity, and I wish so many people of his stature that put in 20-plus years of body of work get that opportunity as well.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. And trust me, Coach, once you meet Phil Acton, do me a favor, get his cell number, because I tell you what, there is an absolute wealth of information regarding really anything with IHSA football. It's unbelievable the career that Phil had and the impact he had pre-John Ivelo. So, again, those are two great guys and hopefully resources for you and your staff to rely on because, again, just guys they're Bolingbrook guys. Simple as that.
Yes, they are.
100% agree.
Coach, great to have you on again. We will be on, Joe, another week next week?
Yes, we'll
be covering the game?
Yes.
So next week we'll have your game live on the radio. In the meantime, just thanks for picking up. Great to have you on the show, and We'll definitely bring you on a little bit later in the year, okay?
Thank you for having me. Love talking to you guys.
All
Good
right.
luck, Coach.
Coach Tikas Pettigrew from Bolingbrook joining us, Joe, and great to have him on. And
yes.
And again, Raiders are off to a good start. They really are.
Yes,
really are.
And he's trying to continue the tradition, and I like coaches
Big
who make
shoes.
kids
Those are big
accountable.
shoes, Joe.
So, without a doubt. And I love when coaches talk about keeping their kids accountable, especially in the classroom.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
There's no doubt about it. End of third, Joe. TF South leading Bremen 19-14. So Bremen coming back a little bit, making a game out of that one for sure. Yeah, I'm just, again, you mentioned Jonas Williams. I can't believe he's only a sophomore.
I know.
It's like he's in his fourth year of high school. It's crazy. And, you know, the thing, and I can attest because I've had the pleasure of dealing with Jonas from the recruiting side. And hey, he's right, Joe. He's like 15 going on 30. I mean, he is incredibly mature, really intelligent kid. Just, I love talking to him. He's just a really, really down to earth, very polite, just terrific guy. Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Our friend Rita's out there. Hello, Rita.
Hi, Rita. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, we haven't heard from you in a while.
Yes.
So, you know, the phone lines still work here too, Rita. So just in case.
I saw her husband.
But DM works too.
Yeah, in the parking lot at Providence, we have our chats, and
there you go.
And yeah, he was telling me Rita's doing well. And,
good.
And good to hear from you, Rita, for sure.
All right, Joe, let's go through the rest of the schedule quickly before we're up against time. We got about 3 minutes left. Romeoville, Plainfield South, Joe, somebody's winning.
Plainfield South.
All right, that's according to Joe. We talked about Manuka Oswego. Oswego at Plainfield North. Joe, North 1-3. Again, very tough schedule for the Tiger. Will it pay off this week against the Panther?
They're still having a little problems offensively, but I'm picking Oswego.
The Raiders, we just talked to Tikas Pettigrew at Lincoln Way West.
I'm going to pick the Brook here.
Yeah, again, I think a good game for sure.
I think Lincoln Way West may have some players hurt, you know, for this game.
I think Bolingbrook can get that one on the road as well. Lincoln Way East at Andrew.
The Beast.
Andrew 3-1, but again, not to that level.
Nope.
Joliet Catholic, again, we talked about this game earlier. The Hill on the road at Wheaton St. Francis. I just see hundreds of JCA fans roaming around looking for parking.
I'm picking the Hilltoppers on the blue turf of Wheaton St. Francis.
It is pretty cool turf.
It is.
There's no doubt. Lockport on the road at Bradley, Joe. Huge game for the Porter.
They have to bounce back. I'm picking the Porters in a very hostile place.
Another huge game, a little underrated game. Providence on the road at DePaul Prep. By the way, if you've never been to DePaul Prep, it's a great campus.
It is.
It's really
right
nice.
next to Kerry Wood Field.
Yep.
Right by
right
Lane
behind it. You've got all that area around there
Yes.
near Lane Tech and everything. It's a great place to go see a game. In the background, you have you have the city, and it's a great place to see a game. It's a must-win for Providence, Joe. Looking at the schedule.
I'm picking them. I am picking them. It's going to be a tough game, but I'm picking them.
Sandburg at Lincoln Way Central. Joe, does Central bounce back this week?
Again, Sandburg to me is like Nequa Valley a little bit. You don't really know, but I know a lot of people like Sandburg in this game. I'm going to go with Lincoln Way Central.
There you go. And again, we will have Joe Curry on maybe next week. Got to do a shout out to the Fighting Saints, 3-0,
killing it.
Ranked number 14 in NAIA. They're at Taylor on Saturday, 1 o'clock, or Saturday at 12 o'clock. Go get them, Fighting Saints.
Go get them.
That's it, Joe.
All right.
We're done. All right. For Coach Joe, for Evan Bredesen, I'm Edgy Tim. Thanks, everybody, for listening, for watching, for calling. We'll be back same time, same bat channel next week. You are listening to the Week 5 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports. Good night, everyone.